specific names or positions as requested. Here's the content of the email. Just to make you all aware, I've emailed the Hamburg superintendent, who's a friend of mine, to let him know how helpful Mr. Cerrone has been. The context of this email is helpful, is being sarcastic. We need to adopt this budget on April 17th. Personnel decision aside, this is getting ridiculous. Lots of misinformation out there, but I feel each of you need to be aware, study our budget, and be on top of your game. As you well know, I am a teacher in the Hamburg School District. And this email, I feel as though is a bullying attempt, an attempt to intimidate someone who spoke against some of the budget proposals and criticisms. It's an attempt to silence me and others who have spoken out against the budget when I have the right to do so as a citizen, a taxpayer, and maybe most importantly, no, definitely most importantly, as a parent of 2 children in this school district who just finished 1st and 3rd grade. I have the right to speak to do this, of course. So the question is, just this email in itself is an ethical and professional violation. Did any further email communication between these 2 individuals occur? And if so, did it go beyond an ethical and professional violation? And was it illegal? Did it violate my privacy rights as a worker, as an employee of the Hamburg School District? That needs to be found out. This is serious business.
I'll be happy to respond to each and every one of your concerns. I think
can I finish my 5 minutes, Paul? I certainly would like to. We definitely need to communicate, as we discussed on our quick communication we had the last day. As a result of this disclosure of this email, a FOIL request was made both in Hamburg and in Springville. It was denied. The basis was interagency communication. And through research, that is not the case. This is something that is in the public record. And even if those emails were deleted, we have a backup. According to law, there's a backup system. In Hamburg, we have a system through BOCES called Mailmeter. And I know you guys have something similar here in Springville. So my request tonight is that the school board compel district administration to release any communication between the individual in Springville, and I will give you a copy of these emails, who sent this email to the Hamburg superintendent over the last several months, any email communication between the 2, so that we can see if it was just a quick email communication, or did my rights as an employee get violated because of these emails. And if there's nothing to hide, then those emails should be released. And because of the denial, it's telling me there may be a need for an investigation on this. So I'm asking the board to do that. And when some new board members and administrators entered this district, there was a feel of hopefulness that we'd be moving forward for some of the problems we've had in the past. And quotes such as, establish trust, restore trust in this district, and honest communication were bantered. Are we living up to those standards? I hope so. So again, I ask you folks to consider my request, and let's investigate what happened here. Thank you.
Chris. I was going to say, just to clarify, so we're all on the same page, even if this alleged occurrence did indeed happen, you're not claiming any injury that you suffered as a result of this.
Mr.
It sounds like it. You know?
It would depend on what the communication was, because I had heard through some communication with people in Hamburg that there was a possibility that I would have been forced to, I'm a middle school teacher, be moved to the high school.
Mr. Cerrone, are you taping this?
Sure we are.
Yeah. Who are you?
We live in Hamburg.
You don't have my permission to tape this event.
You
Please.
can't stop us.
It's a public meeting. You don't need permission.
Stop, wait, I really,
It's
I don't
public
know.
officers law,
Wait,
look it up.
Wait, what?
Public officers law, look it up.
Thanks for the advice.
Well,
I really don't know. We just
no.
never been taped before, but.
No
It's part of
laws.
If you don't know, then you ought to find out.
It happens in
before
school
you
boards
do it.
all over the
You're
place.
exactly correct.
Well,
Yeah.
you're welcome with your condescending remark. Thank you.
That wasn't meant to
You're
be
very
funny.
flippant with your comment.
Point of order.
Stop the argument. Stop it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Gets nowhere.
I really just saw
I'm
that.
sorry, Mr. President, out of respect to you.
Thank you. Are you
I don't mind that they tape, I don't care, it is a public meeting personally,
Mhm.
Okay.
so just to
You're the former president, you have more knowledge than I do.
just speak, and you read my remarks, and I cited law, and Mr. Cerrone has contradicted some of the law I've already cited to the board members here, so let them tape it. Mr. Connelly? would
Sorry,
you-
continue.
I'm sorry, back to you, Mr. President.
Did I answer your question?
Only in a roundabout manner. So again, the bottom line is, as of this juncture, you're admitting that you have suffered no damages or no injury.
At this
How do we
point,
know?
yes, but how do we know? Because there were some threats and there was, I've heard.
At this point in
I've
time,
heard.
no.
No,
Thank you.
You're aware.
yep. Okay, thank you for your time, folks.
Thank you.
I would just like to say, Chris,
Yeah.
we'll get together and talk about
We
this.
definitely should.
It's
But my point,
one quick email between Steve and I.
Yep.
We've known this for a long time. Nothing having to do with this high school. No, I don't know anything about this. I didn't even know you were an SYI board member at the time. Putting this whole thing into context, I sent it on Easter Sunday, the 8th. We had to wrap up a budget process by the 17th that this Board of Education had as a primary objective. And out of the blue, we get a bunch of recommendations that we might start changing a lot of the things that we agreed upon. Now, as a citizen and as a member of the community, I'd like you to be aware that we have a Citizens Budget Advisory Committee. And you might, Mr. Welch chairs that, you might want to get on that next year.
yeah, well, I'll tell you what, because I know several people on there, and I don't think any of the recommendations were held. They brought up the things I brought up, administrative cuts, they brought up closing Colden, they brought up all those things that I brought up, and none of it was held. So that's the reason why I felt compelled to speak up and why others did the same thing.
But I'm still willing to absolutely give you the time to go through it, to take a look at it. Now, understand this, under the Freedom of Information Law, it's my understanding and my defending of my privacy as a superintendent to have an interagency discussion with another superintendent. And there was an element in that email that could be very damaging to teachers across New York State like yourself. I'm very concerned about that. I will discuss that with you in private.
Yep.
I'll be happy to.
Yep, and I certainly would be willing to do that, but the FOIL request is still going to stand because it's my contention and through my research from people that are much smarter than I am in knowledge of FOIL and government law, that this is something that is not protected by the interagency statutes and that it is FOILable, it is public record. So I'm going to press on this, and I ask the board so that we can avoid any loss of time and money if needed. I will press on this.
I fully respect your right to do so. Mrs. Stevenson, I responded to you a couple of days ago.
And I'm going to speak.
Also sent all my communications to the Committee on Open Government in Albany, and I filed all my things on a timely basis, and I'm with you on this, so
Yep.
let's just, here we go.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. I'm speaking.
Yes.
I obviously have an issue with people doing emails that may harm a person's employment, anything anonymous that may harm a person's employment. As you know, before I came on the board, I was a victim of that because I was outspoken, and it ended up costing me my job. So what Mr. Cerrone is saying needs to be taken seriously, because you know what? Being a victim of it myself, it can hurt people. Now, I don't know why we won't release the emails. If there's nothing damaging in there, then I don't see what the big deal is. Now, I've gone to a meeting with Mr. Freeman, and emails certainly are foilable. That was one of the things I couldn't believe that I heard. Emails are foilable.
Some emails are foilable.
I don't understand. Obviously, we've heard from other board members saying that this is not executive session issue, so I guess we need to talk about it here. I guess my question to you, Dr. Connelly, would be why did you put his name in an email to their superintendent if it wasn't meant to possibly be injurious at some point? I don't understand that. Why would you do that?
I'm not even going to discuss that because of it's
Yeah,
part of
but
the
I have-
contents of the email.
Yeah, but I can't.
That I have, I believe, a privacy right as the superintendent to have a discussion with a colleague that according to our council's recommendation is not foilable. So, as,
But it's not executive session, so I have to address it here. I can't address, I need to address it amongst the board. I don't understand why there would even be a link between Mr. Cerrone and an email to his superintendent. I don't understand that.